Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So this one is a bit different. It's on the subject of praying. And I know for religious people there is benefit to praying for your own soul, your own mind, your own peace of mind. But my worry is the fact that it's then not doing something about it, leaving it to someone else. God, as we know, is an unknown source, and prayers given to him may not be granted or may be granted, but in a time scale that's not of your choosing. You may pray for something, you don't want it to happen straight away, and it may happen in 10 years' time for you. And that, of course, leaves the window open for those who don't believe in God to say, well, that's coincidence, or that's a scamming technique to allow a belief to exist, because then you've got all the time in the world to make something happen, and of course it may happen on its own. That's where part of faith comes in belief in religion and God and etc. My point isn't to say whether it's true or not true, whether there is God or not God. I personally believe there is a God, but I'm not so sure that what's written about him is accurate or true, whether it's remained, even though I know there was many claims of that. But of course, the problem I have is the problem with praying is if you don't do something about it yourself, because God has told us also to, has given us all the faculties to maintain this place, and to do all the things that we wish. We have the power to do that, because each person has the same amount of power. It's just we don't believe we do, because the system we live within divvies out power by suits, by positions, by names, by titles, etc. You feel that you don't have as much power as the Queen or a politician or a superstar, but yet intrinsically we all have the same. We all have the same abilities. We all have the same voice and passions and etc. We all have the same ability to make change. But the problem is the way the system is, it's only those with power, with money, or in those particular positions, usually by education or by birth, that are able to change our world. Most of the people sitting in the MPs around the world have all got higher education in specific places because of the money that they had, and that entitles them, and then they go on to get those positions. But the problem is with praying is that you then leave it to someone else to do something about it. And there must be billions of people who have prayed to God in sincerity, with full belief that please have the world have world peace, or please that no one else suffers anymore, that there's no injustices for the whole of mankind. Most prayers contain things like that within them, that people do every single day, 5 times a day, or 7. And yet, these things haven't come to pass. Now, of course, you'll say that there's, like when people talk about praying, and when they get, they get upset that their prayer hasn't come true, and then they'll be told, well, wait, sometimes it takes time. It's not right for you to have this thing yet, or maybe not right at all for you, because it will lead you astray. But of course, the problem is with that is then that gives legitimacy to just leaving it to God to solve, and that I think is a big problem. Yes, you should pray. I don't say that. You should ask for God to give you guidance and strength. But the problem is it's not going to get done unless you make it happen, because we're the ones in charge here. He made that so. And we're being judged, if you're based on the religions. We're being judged on how we behave here. And so therefore, if he was to come and just do it, it wouldn't be us. He wouldn't be judging us, he'd be judging himself. He's not, he's judging us. So he's given us freedom, free will, to do as we please. And we must take that and remember that. So that's my problem with praying, is that, if you keep praying for world peace, you keep praying for, crimes and injustices and sufferings, and people not to live on streets without food, or to have to eat out garbage, or bathe in dirty water, or die of dysentery, or all sorts of other diseases that come, or medications of abuse, of people getting things that they shouldn't be, the force of governments and etc. All the things that are happening, all the things that have happened, you're praying against these things. But if you're not making the change, it's never going to change, is it? Yes, prayer has power, but what has more power is, and remember, prayer is praying to God to ask him to do something for you. But remember, the most powerful thing that God has given you isn't prayer, isn't even himself. He's given him you. And obviously a lot of people believe that, because of the phrase in the Bible, that we are him in that sense. And so therefore it's not a contradiction, it's not something bad to say that the most powerful thing is you against God or prayer. It is. We are the most powerful thing here, because we are the ones that are able to do those things. We're the ones that have been given the ability by him to make change, to have a brotherhood, to have a world of where there's no inequalities, no injustices, there's no suffering, because he's given us everything. The planet that we are upon has food and all the things that we would need for every single person to live exactly the same in good standard. It's only our way of breaking it down to divisions and names and possessions and all that, systems, that has stopped us, made us live in more in a hell than a heaven. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about, because you hear a lot of people on Instagram or Facebook or whatever put about praying and this, that and the other. And, prayer has its power, especially internally to you, but you need to make the change, because that's the thing. You need to be the one that does it, because if billions of people have prayed for world peace and the removal of inequalities and injustice, if we all had done something about it, it would have gone by now. But if we all just sat and prayed about it and then watched TV and then carried on, that's why it hasn't ever changed. As a parent, as a child, things don't change if you don't do things about them. You can't just expect them to change. So why would you expect God to just make your prayer come true if you don't put any effort into it, really, so he can see that you really want to do it? So yes, pray about it, but also make the change as well. Take care, take it easy, God bless and peace.